You won't believe this. In 2017, something passed through our solar system and challenged everything we thought we knew about the cosmos. For billions of years, we believed our little corner of the universe was predictable, understandable, safe. But then, as if ripped from an interstellar nightmare, a strange object crossed the sky with an impossible trajectory, an absurd shape, and the behavior of something that seemed to have a will of its own. It wasn't a comet, it wasn't an asteroid, it looked like nothing science had ever seen. And the scariest part, it seemed to be, accelerating on its own. Named Oumuamua, the messenger from afar in Hawaiian, this celestial body is now the greatest space enigma of the century. In just a few days, it was observed, analyzed, and lost forever. But the 3 anomalies left in its wake continue to haunt the world's top scientists. Get ready, because today we're going to uncover the 3 features that make Oumuamua an object science simply can't explain. And by the end, you'll understand why some serious astrophysicists believe it might be alien technology, forgotten in space. Leave a like if you're fascinated by the mysteries of the universe, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next episodes of Interstellar Diary. Hold tight, because what comes next might change the way you see the universe. Imagine an ordinary day at an astronomical observatory in Hawaii. The sky is clear, the Pan-STARRS telescope is routinely scanning the darkness in search of near-Earth asteroids. Until, on October 19, 2017, something unusual appears. A faint, fast-moving point of light was cutting through space at an extraordinary speed. But it wasn't the speed that caught attention, it was the trajectory. Unlike any object in our solar system, this celestial body wasn't bound by the sun's gravity. Its orbit was hyperbolic, meaning it came from outside and would never return. For the first time, we were face to face with a confirmed interstellar visitor. It was like someone from a distant star system had thrown a stone into our backyard. And that stone carried secrets no one could decode. The object was named Oumuamua, which in Hawaiian means the scout, the distant messenger, poetic, prophetic, and perhaps more literal than we'd like to admit. The scientific community sprang into action. Observatories around the world turned their electronic eyes toward it. Time was short. Oumuamua had already passed the sun and was quickly moving away, becoming harder to observe with each second. And then, the data started coming in. But instead of answers, it brought perplexity. Early analysts showed that Oumuamua didn't behave like an asteroid, nor like a comet. Its brightness fluctuated wildly. It had no tail. And most disturbing, its trajectory indicated it was accelerating, like a being walking alone down a desert trail, pushed by its own will. This wasn't just another space rock, it was a cosmic enigma. And the first true anomaly was about to appear, one that would shake the foundations of science. If you could look at Oumuamua through a telescope, you might be surprised. It didn't look like an irregular or rounded rock, like the comets and asteroids we know. Instead, its light pulsed, like an unbalanced lighthouse spinning rapidly. But the strangest part was the intensity of that oscillation. Scientists quickly realized, for an object's brightness to vary that much, it must have an extremely unusual shape, far more elongated than wide. Some models suggested Oumuamua could be up to 10 times longer than it was thick. Imagine a cosmic cigar tumbling awkwardly through space. Others believed it could resemble a paper-thin pancake, flipping slowly on its axis. Whatever the case, this was unlike anything naturally occurring that we had ever detected. Ordinary asteroids are like giant potatoes. Comets resembled dirty snowballs. But it seemed to be crafted with precision, or at the very least, shaped by conditions science can't yet explain. And that's just the beginning. During its rotation, observations revealed that its brightness variation followed a chaotic pattern, as if it were wobbling, an unstable 3-dimensional rotation. That alone is rare among natural bodies, but in this case, it was even harder to justify. Was this behavior caused by past collisions, gravitational effects from its origin, or was it built that way? That last question began to echo in the halls of certain research centers, but it was still too soon to raise that flag. One thing, however, was agreed upon. We had never seen anything with that shape, from interstellar space or even from our own solar system. And science has a hard time with things it can't categorize. While astronomers puzzled over the bizarre shape of the visitor, a second anomaly stood out, even more intriguing and completely opposite to what we expect from a body coming from deep space. Every object from the depths of interstellar space carries a signature, not a written one, but a visual one. The famous gas tail. This happens with comets as they approach the sun. The heat evaporates the ice, releasing gas and dust, forming that luminous trail we often admire from Earth. But Oumuamua didn't follow that script. As it neared the sun, no trail was detected, no coma, no tail. Just a dry, silent body crossing the solar system as if it had nothing to say. This shattered the initial leading theory that it was just another comet. If it had been made of ice and dust, like its cosmic cousins, it should have reacted to the sun's heat. But Oumuamua remained indifferent, cold, inert. This absence of gas also had another consequence. It made the explanation for its acceleration even more difficult. For now, the fact that it emitted nothing, no gas, no particles, was a shock to astronomers. Some tried to propose alternative theories. One suggested it might be made of an exotic kind of ice, like pure hydrogen ice, which would sublimate without leaving visible traces. But this would require astrophysical conditions never observed before, and objects that we've simply never seen. Another possibility, perhaps Oumuamua had been baked by time, having spent billions of years in interstellar space, losing all its volatiles and becoming a bare rock. But that raises another question. How could such a dry object be ejected from another star system? Typically, it's the fragile, icy comets that get tossed out. We're faced with a paradox. If it's rocky, how is it expelled? If it's a comet, why didn't it release gas? No one had a convincing answer, just guesses. And guesses don't do much when facing a real, observable space anomaly, one that was already leaving our system. But all of that pales in comparison to the third anomaly, because Oumuamua didn't just move strangely, it accelerated on its own, no propulsion. And that was the final straw for the scientific world. Comets follow predictable paths. Asteroids too. All of them obey with some margin of error. The laws of gravity. As they approach the sun, they accelerate. As they move away, they slow down. But Oumuamua chose to ignore the rules. When analyzing the trajectory data after its solar flyby, astronomers noticed something alarming. It was speeding up. Not by much. A subtle, almost imperceptible change in velocity. But it was constant, smooth, as if an invisible hand was pushing it away from the star.
The first logical explanation would be outgassing, like a comet releasing jets of gas as it evaporates. But as we saw, Oumuamua didn't release any gas. No coma, no activity, nothing visible. So, how to explain it? One of the most creative theories came from renowned astrophysicist Avi Loeb from Harvard University. He suggested that Oumuamua might be something radically different. A solar sail. For those unfamiliar, solar sails are giant, ultra-thin structures capable of moving using the pressure of sunlight as propulsion. The concept is not science fiction, in fact. Real projects are already in progress here on Earth. Loeb's point was this. For solar radiation to be the cause of Oumuamua's acceleration, the object would have to be extremely light with a very large surface area, like a cosmic sheet. Something that couldn't be natural. In other words, maybe we were looking at an artifact, fragment of advanced technology, an abandoned probe, an alien solar sail drifting through the universe. Of course, this theory was met with skepticism, like any idea that challenges the foundations of traditional science. But the curious part is, no natural explanation to this day can account for all of Oumuamua's anomalies at once. Those who reject the alien hypothesis are still trapped in the same dilemma. Either we invent a new kind of comet with never-before-seen properties, or we accept that maybe, just maybe, this thing didn't come alone. After all, what accelerates in a vacuum, without gas and without a motor? Loeb ended his theory with a provocative line. If it looks like a solar sail and acts like a solar sail, maybe it is a solar sail. And that idea, unsettling as it is, opened a new line of thought. Oumuamua might have been a relic, an abandoned probe, failed test, or perhaps an invitation. Oumuamua arrived without warning, passed us by in silence, and left without a trace. But the deepest, most unsettling trace was the one it left in our minds. It was too fast to catch, too small to study in depth, but strange enough to make us question everything we thought we knew about the universe. Just think for a moment. An object with an impossible shape that emits no gas, but still accelerates on its own. That's more than just an astronomical curiosity. It's an affront to logic. The truth, no one knows for sure what Oumuamua was. It could have been a cosmic rock with unique properties, sculpted by unknown processes, or it could have been something else. A probe, an artifact, a piece of technology lost in time and space. A hello that went unnoticed, until it was too late. And while we debate here, the messenger continues its journey, heading somewhere or nowhere, drifting among the stars like a leaf blown by the wind of the cosmic void, but its legacy remains. Because Oumuamua proved one thing: we are not alone in our backyard. The universe is vast, mysterious, and more connected than we've ever dared to imagine. And if it was the first, it certainly won't be the last. In the coming years, new telescopes like the Vera C. Rubin Observatory in Chile will scan the skies with unprecedented precision. And who knows, the next messenger might already be on its way. So I ask you, are you ready for the next visit? Leave a comment below. What do you think Oumuamua was? A rock? Solar sail? An alien artifact? If you enjoyed today's mystery, like the video, share it with someone who loves the unknown, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next chapters of the Interstellar Diary, because the next clue might be crossing the skies right now.